Welcome to Three Pagans on Tap.
Episode number 6.
Sick, is that what it is?
Wow.
Yep. I didn't do the little runner underneath today. I forgot.
It's that kind of day.
It is.
Absolutely.
Indeed-a-doobly.
Was that words?
Sort of. It's a good thing we're drinking, right?
Yeah, it's a good thing. Then that'll all make sense. I actually haven't started yet, so. But I do have 4 different tequilas to try, so.
Sure.
Nice.
Could keep me busy. All right, Sarenth, go ahead and get us started.
All right. Hail Tyr. Honor God. God who does what is necessary. God who does what is right. Lord of the all thing. You who helps the host peaceably assemble. You who helps us to count each and every voice as heard. You who brings justice. You who sees. You who knows. You who understands the price that justice carries. Hail Tyr. Help us to be just in our action. Help us to be just in our words. Help us to be just in our assemblies. Help us to be just as we face our own wolves. Hail Tyr. That's Heil.
Thank you, Sarenth.
Yeah. So who wants to go first this week? We didn't discuss any of this ahead of time.
When did we talk about anything ahead of time?
Well, I'll throw myself on the grenade this time.
Okay.
So I thought today was a really good day to ask Tyr for his blessing, especially given the election day and that he was one of the ones that the All Thing was asked for help with, and for justice and all the things that I am hoping that not only this election, but that our country embraces with vigor going forward. Now, I thought that when I went to go buy this is Mezcal Ilegal Joven. I don't know how you pronounce this correctly, sorry. This is unaged 100% Mague Espaden. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize. My Spanish is atrocious. It's 40% alcohol by volume and a 375 milliliter bottle. I really, really dig the bottle. It comes with a cork, which is sealed with wax.
Oh, cool.
And this was the drink that I had prior to the beginning of broadcast when my offerings went up to the gods, asking for inspiration for a prayer tonight.
Was that also the one that decided it wanted to be everywhere?
Yup. So fair warning with this one, you might want to actually cut the wax a little bit so you don't splash it literally everywhere like a Florida water cleansing, because that's pretty much what I did to myself and my computer. I'm just happy that I keep my handkerchiefs close by because, oh my gods.
I mean, you needed to cleanse for the prayer.
I mean,
right.
Yeah, but this is made in it's handcrafted in Oaxaca, Mexico, and originally produced for Cafe No Sé in Antigua, Guatemala, and it was imported to Miami, Florida, and that's how I got here. This is about $23.99 for a 375 milliliter bottle. This is actually pretty good stuff. I'm going to try a little bit. This one caught my eye not only because of the wax seal and all that, but because of all the just the name Ilegal with the little cross on it just kind of caught my eye. I was like, okay, I can take a sign when I see one. Oh, that is smooth. It doesn't have an alcohol bite to it. It's very smooth. This is one that my buddy at the local liquor store was like, if you want to drink this straight, this is a really good drink. And I 100% 4 stars. It's really good, very clear, very smooth.
Very nice.
Of course, said the bottle said shots for everyone, including your living space.
Indeed.
All right, so me being who I am, I have 4 different kinds to try.
Gods.
So this is Torado Gold Tequila. This is the only one that does not say 100% blue agave on it. So who knows what else is in it? Because they're not allowed to say that unless it is. So this was made in Mexico, but imported by Sazerac in Frankfort, Kentucky. And yes, it does look really cheesy.
Yeah, that looks like a headache waiting to happen.
We'll see if I'm an angry drunk on tequila. And because I know people are going to ask, none of mine have worms in them. I can't find worms tequila anymore. I looked.
Yeah.
It smells a little alcoholic. It is 80 proof, 40%. Oh, God, that's terrible. Holy balls.
Do we have paint thinner? Is that what that is?
Yeah, pretty much. So that's what's left, and that's what's
looks like
left.
It looks
Wow.
like diabetic piss.
I'm gonna give that a 0.2 out of 5 because it actually is a glass bottle. That's all I got. That's all I got going for it. Wow, that's absolutely terrible.
I mean, it's bottom shelf tequila. Like
it literally was bottom shelf tequila. So I stopped in my local liquor store, which is Sprinkle Wine and Spirits right around the corner, and Manish, who's the owner, was like, "You really want this tequila?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So
I think passing around the suffering bottle is a good thing. You know, I had my time with the rum, and I damn near died on that. So, you know.
Right, yeah. Melkor, a bottle of instant regret. I think it's actually worse than that. It's worse than instant regret. That is by far maybe the worst thing I've ever had in my mouth.
Okay.
I love the absolute silence after that statement. All right. Malek,
Just
you're up next.
throw them in like that. You know how we are, like.
And nobody can continue. It's all over.
Phrasing.
Phrasing.
Thanks, Archer.
Oh my goodness. All right, Malek, you're up.
So I only have one tequila tonight, but I'm doing a couple of cocktails with it as well as drinking it straight. So I have Olmeca Altos 100% agave Respirado tequila from Mexico somewhere, although it doesn't tell me right here on front of the bottle where. Just that it is made in Mexico. 2020 in a bottle, Jesus Christ. This is what the bottle looks like. This was, I think, $25. I bought it a few weeks ago, so I'm not 100% sure. About mid-shelf for tequila. It smells like how most tequilas smell, right? That kind of blue agave smell to it. But interestingly, there's some like vanilla undertones, which are really pleasant. Which I'm guessing is coming from the oak barrels that most tequila, especially gold tequilas, which is what I'm drinking, are aged in. That's really phenomenal. Like that's really, really good. I'm not a huge fan of drinking tequila straight, but that's really good. There's no alcohol flavor, a little bit of warmth going down, but not a ton. Incredibly smooth. A lot of flavor, but not like it's not heavy or thick, and it doesn't like punch you with it. It's just very light and kind of uplifting flavor in your mouth. The agave is very there. You get a lot of the oak still. That vanilla is there playing in the background, just like on the nose. It's just a really, really fucking good tequila. Call that, yeah, I'd call that 4 out of 5. That's really good.
Nice. So
No, what was that one more time?
Which part? Oh, which tequila?
The drink.
Sorry. Olmeca Altos, 100% agave tequila.
Nice.
Yep.
And the one thing we forgot is Malek's question from last week, which I think we ought to continue.
I agree.
What god does your particular drink at that point remind you of? So, Sarenth, you went first. You go first on the answer.
I think I get Loki and his family from this one. Like it's this smooth, but it's this burning. And when I was formulating the prayer, as I was taking a drink and thinking, what should I make this about? It was an honest to God's toss up between Tyr and Fenris as to the subject of the prayer. So, if I had to pin it down to a god, it'd probably actually be Fenris.
Okay.
Interesting.
What do you do that?
It's the spirit of COVID.
I don't have none of them because it sucks. And I like all of my gods. So I can't. It honestly is one of the worst things I've ever had.
Yeah.
I would not put that towards any of my gods.
No, that's fair. I wouldn't ask you to. That's what with the freaking redstone that he hated. I was like, yeah, no, don't. Like I wasn't where you could drink anything. God damn it. I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that.
It's all about phrasing.
Yeah. It's the worst thing you've had in your mouth, Thacker. It's not me for once, so I'm going to milk this for all it's worth.
Are you?
In my defense, I did mine on purpose.
Fair.
Fair. Very fair.
Sarenth did his unintentionally. It's fine.
Right.
Okay, so I guess it's back to me now?
1 second for my... who does this remind me of?
Oh, right.
For me, my brain can't decide if this is Frigga or Freya. Although I think I'm leaning more towards Freya because it's lighter. And Frigga is to me a bit more grounded than this, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. I get a much more earthy vibe off of Frigga than I do Freya, which is funny because of the Vanir associations. But
right, like Freya has major fertility associations. Also, not as
you feel how you feel.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Back to you, Sarenth.
Yep. All right.
By the way, Emily said we should just call it godless alcohol.
Indeed. So, I'm not sure which one I want to do. Do I want to do Hornitos or Tiramana? You know what? I'll do Hornitos Reposado. It's a Nuestro Tequila. It's 100% pure avocado? No, agave. Gods.
100% pure avocado.
This goes on my toast. Not bad pricing. It's $8.44 for a 200 milliliter bottle of this stuff. Glass, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
Although, with some of the drinks we've had, glass is no longer the standard measure for how good something is. Because I had that Redstone and really didn't like it. Sorry, Redstone lovers, but oh my gods. And you just had that. So,
Right. The good news is that's a really good apothecary bottle afterwards, even if the tequila sucks.
Yep. So I am going to try my hand at this. I have never. Keep in mind, folks, not only am I the least experienced brewer and professional, whatever,
alcoholic, got it.
That, but also I've not drank shite for any kinds of tequila. I'm not very experienced in drinking in general, so this is going to be fun. Very pretty. Oops, I failed. Yeah, well, you know what? Bottoms up. All right, what's going to be a shot? It's now double. Ooh, that's a nice smell. Let's put the cap back on that, though.
Just in case more jumps into your cup.
Mm-hmm. You gotta make the alcohol wait a little bit, right?
Pace yourself.
Ooh. It didn't make me twitch, and that's a little. Sometimes really high alcohols will make me twitch, and sometimes it's the gods. Maybe it's him. Maybe it's Maybelline. So this is 40% alcohol by volume, which I think was the same as the last one I had.
Yep.
But I think, this is 100% agave, and I wonder if this was barrel aged. It's not telling me, but because of the smoothness, I'm willing to bet that this is barrel aged. And it says I forgot to mention, it says right here in the bottle, it is not aged. So it's like straight in the bottle. So this is more of a fiery texture, and this is really smooth. And it's got this. It's this clean feeling. Like, not like I'm sanitizing my mouth, but this very smooth, almost mint taste to it. Now, keep in mind, I don't know what agave nectar liquors are supposed to taste like. This is my first exposure to a pure 100% agave. And if that's what they taste like, I really, really dig that. So that's really good stuff. So that is what I'm drinking. Because of that really clean texture and because of the really smooth finish, I honestly associate that with Tyr. Out of any of the gods, he's probably one of the least complicated. His motivations are straightforward. What he wants to do and how he does it is pretty damn straightforward. I will put my hand in the wolf's mouth so the Aesir live. He's a fairly uncomplicated god, and one that stands for justice. And yeah, and I honestly, the Reposado, that's really tasty. That may not survive the night. Yes, it's for my agave avocado toast.
I mean,
Sure.
Oh, what
I am
is
also
this?
drinking a tequila reposado, and it is 40% alcohol by volume, and this is done in Jalisco, which is a town in Mexico.
I'm pretty sure reposado is literally gold versus silver tequila.
Yes. Yep.
Thank you for explaining that to me. I had no idea.
It's 100 años, which basically means it's 100% blue agave. Who's beeping over there?
That's me. I shut my Discord down, but it never stopped sending me messages because.
You actually have to. Never mind. Doesn't matter. I'll.
Okay.
If I can.
You've got 4. So
You can mute it.
I mean, yeah, but I'm kind of an idiot.
That's super interesting. It actually tastes peppery.
Really?
Yeah, like pink peppercorns. It's still got a little bit of the burn, but it's actually got an interesting flavor compared to the other. It has flavor compared to the other one. I don't know that I've ever had like tequila that tasted like peppercorns before, but that's really good.
I've heard of that as like a notable flavor in some tequilas.
Yeah.
Also, for those listening, Carr is doing his usual worst, better, best
Yes.
style.
Yeah, so it's 4. So this was the second of the 4. And then I'll go up 2 more after this. So I think this is a 750 mil. I believe it was like $28. The original one, which was a 750 mil, I believe was $8, $9, something like that. So it's the Try Not to Die brand. So wow, that's really, really good. So I'm going to give that a 3.5 out of 5. And I think it reminds me of Danu.
Okay.
Because for whatever reason, I believe she's a little spicy. But the mother of all the other Celtic gods. So I guess she would have had to have been at some point a little spicy. But very good. Enjoyable.
Excellent.
Oh,
Malek.
is it my turn?
Yeah. That's what happens. We go on this circle thing.
Yeah, but I just said I'm an idiot. Like, what do you want from me? All right, so my first cocktail for the night is a margarita made with, again, that Olmeca Altos tequila. And again, because I'm an idiot, I forgot to stop and get the triple sec that I needed for making a proper tequila. So I just subbed a homemade lemon and simple syrup mix. But it turned out pretty good, so it works.
Quick question for the non-bartendery person in the room. What the hell is triple sec and what's it supposed to do?
So triple sec is an orange liqueur. So it gives kind of a balancing flavor to the lime and the tequila, and adds a little more sugar to bring it up. My recipe that I'm drinking is basically 2 ounces of tequila, 1.5 ounces of lime juice, half ounce of simple syrup, and a half ounce of lemon juice, and turned out actually really fucking good. So
Very cool.
Yep.
I
Hope
believe
somebody's
that
got a good-
if people go to the Discord, there is a simple syrup recipe there that Amanda posted with like some great herbs in it and stuff. So if you're going to make your own simple syrup, go grab that recipe off of the Discord in the tequila/mezcal area.
Yeah, definitely. Which I haven't made that at home yet, but I plan to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ditto. Yeah.
Margaritas are one of my favorite mixed drinks. Like, just overall, if I'm going out for any kind of Tex-Mex, I'm gonna have a margarita, and this is a pretty solid one. It's not my favorite. It's not the best I've had, but I'm also not that great a bartender, so yeah.
And I missed midnight margaritas this year because no MPF. So I'm looking forward to midnight margaritas next year at Michigan Pagans.
Yes.
Because last year I should not have driven home to the hotel, which was literally right around the corner. I should have just walked. Actually, I think Gwen drove home to the hotel because it's literally right around the corner. Yeah. I had a few or too many.
You had a few too many.
So who does that drink remind you of?
I think Loki. Which, honestly, I feel like Odin and Loki are going to be my answers for like half of things in the future because they are. Surprising everyone.
Shocking.
This has a kind of light playfulness to it that Loki often does. Not always, but often does.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Also, tequila's fucking dangerous because I'm already pretty solidly buzzed.
That tends to be the deal with tequila.
Is there anything special about tequila that kind of encourages it to absorb quicker, or is it usually just the smoothness of whatever you're drinking? Like versus other liquors? Do you find it's easier to get verschnooked off of tequila versus, say, whiskey? Because you feel the burn more present, or?
I don't know personally. Like the only thing I've ever heard about tequila, and this is not, it doesn't have this effect on me, but is that tequila makes people angry rather than happy. I think that's your underlying sentiment rather than the liquor. But yeah, I've never had a problem with tequila doing to me anything other than what all the other liquors do.
I don't know this. I don't know this, but I suspect that cultural legend probably has its roots in racism.
Could be.
I mean, I hear a similar thing about whiskey, so I just figured I'd ask. Because, I mean, I don't feel any different in terms of my buzz level versus that of, say, whiskey.
Yeah. On a biophysio level, I'm not sure that there might be, because I know that sugar levels in liquor can affect how quickly it's absorbed in the bloodstream.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the reasons that people warn you not to stand up too quick after you've had some mead.
Yeah.
How quick it goes.
Yep. But I'm not sure if most tequilas have a high enough sugar content versus like a whiskey to make that much of a difference.
Right.
I'm honestly unsure.
Okay.
It could be, but I don't know.
Yeah, so I just did some quick research. No, tequila does not do any of that.
Okay.
Nor does anything. So it's all based. So ethanol is basically the alcohol in everything we drink, be it mead, be it wine, be it beer, or liquors. and it all gives you that sleepy kind of feeling.
Okay.
So it's it's a mild depressant. But tequila is 40% alcohol. So as compared to the other drinks we've had, other than beer and mead, they're all basically the same in that range. Wines are normally like 12%. Beers are on average 5%. So that's why you can drink more of it without having the same reaction.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we got a couple of things here. Carly Hodges says tequila makes me so crazy, sick the next day, and it definitely makes me snaky. I don't even. Nope. Gonna leave that one alone. Gemma says,
"Drag gun." I don't do that tongue thing.
And Brandon says, my experience with tequila was a small amount, but anytime I drank it, it tasted like fire. Was never a big fan and avoided it as much as I could. And I think that's probably tequila that has not been aged. So the silver tequilas have a definite burning sensation that aged tequilas don't. So Carly says, apparently that's a local term. Snaky means mean. So I don't know where local is, Carly, but that's a weird term for wherever you're at. But if somebody wants to go on this video and just steal that little soundbite of Sarenth making a snake sound, I'll take that as a ringtone. So please send it to me.
Oh no.
You're up, Sarenth.
Yeah, thanks. So I am drinking Blanco Terramana. It's a small batch tequila, number 1613.
It was a good year.
Thanks, Car.
Nah, this is like a $17.99 bottle. There ain't no way in Guys Green Earth I'm going to be doing anything like no. It's gluten-free. Like, okay, yeah, no shit. It's from Mexico, distilled in handmade copper pot stills, and from Highland agave. Again, 40% alcohol by volume. Did roasting in a brick oven. It has 0 carbohydrates. Huh.
0 carbs.
Yeah. I don't know how the hell you do that.
Well, I don't know either. I was going to say, I have a great answer. Don't have one.
Because technically alcohol isn't a...
It has 0 sugar in it. I don't know how they do it, but okay. But yeah, it's 100% agave, and I'm going to give this thing a shot, an actual shot, as opposed to the double I had a little bit ago. Ooh. I don't think this was aged.
If it's silver, no.
Huh?
If it's silver, it wasn't.
It's not telling me. I'm assuming it was not barrel aged.
Is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
It's not barrel aged.
Yeah, I can see through it.
Yeah.
I can use it as a magnifying glass.
And you may need it later.
Yeah. That's got some fire to it. That's a cert drink.
Okay.
Wow. Probably a 3.
Okay.
I probably wouldn't pick this up again. It's good, but it's a little too peppery. I'm gonna drink it. This bottle's going away at some point soon, but I probably won't get it again, just because I like the smoother stuff.
Mm-hmm.
As far as tequilas go, like I'm used to Jack kicking me in the teeth, but that's what Jack does.
Right.
But this is pretty solid. I'm sure it would probably taste really good in a mixed drink, but I don't have any of that with me right now, unfortunately. But as far as the drink goes, this is pretty good. It's got that little bit of fire in it, so it lets you know it's warm. Like I can feel the warmth from my neck all the way down to my belly, and it's really good. Good stuff. But it's not like the Illegal or the Hornitos, where it's like, it's that really, it's got a fiery edge to it. It's not bad. It's just not something I'd be looking for.
I got you.
All right. So my next one I picked up because of Sammy Hagar. This is Cabo Wabo Tequila Arejo, and this is actually Sammy Hagar's tequila. He owns a restaurant chain called Cabo Wabos, and he actually named this because he was in Cabo San Lucas, and there was a guy stumbling down the beach kind of wobbling. And so he shortened Wobble to Wabo, and we have Cabo Wabo Tequila. So this is super interesting.
That's a really pretty bottle, I gotta say.
It is. If nothing else, besides not being able to drive 55, Sammy's got some good taste in like putting shit together. So he actually commissioned this off of a small distillery in Cabo San Lucas, and they make it for him. So cheers to Sammy. Oh, much more vanilla smell than pepper smell. That's super smooth. This was aged for 12 months in American oak barrels. So, it's had a good amount of aging to it.
I'm willing to bet that if I got more aged to stuff, I'd probably like it. Because I think these guys are, none of these are aged, I don't think. This may be.
So Hornitos is actually a fairly popular brand.
Okay.
Of tequila. Cabo Wabo is actually, I think, number 6 in the States for tequila. But I'm pretty sure that's because of the Sammy Hagar references to it. But that's very tasty. The vanilla comes through. You do get a little bit of the peppery, but not a significant amount. I'd say it kind of reminds me of Balor.
Okay.
Who was kind of the flashy one of the Celtic pantheon, and that's kind of where I feel like Cabo Wabo falls. Although I'm really starting to get warm. I can start to feel like the color rising up.
I feel that. I got this warmth in my chest.
I'm really only 2.5 in because my 0.2 still has this much left.
Oh, fuck
So I'm going to give this a 4, maybe 4.25 on the Cabo Wabo. It's very good.
Good stuff.
I think I'm done. Move on.
Okay. So my next cocktail, which is in a massive glass, is a Juan Collins, which is a play on a Tom Collins, which is a gin drink. This is basically a Tom Collins just made with tequila instead of gin. For those who don't know how a Tom Collins is made, it's basically alcoholic lemonade, kind of.
Sweet.
Yeah. So this particular recipe, I did 4 ounces of tequila because I prefer my drinks to be kind of liquor forward. So 4 ounces.
That means what?
You can actually taste the liquor in it.
Yeah. Basically, I want to be able to taste more of the liquor than the mixed components.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding me to use layman's terms.
Yeah, I am going to be a living reminder of that.
I appreciate it. I forget.
Shit.
You cleansing again, Sarenth?
Yeah, apparently this Destiny is cleansing like crazy.
Oh, we lost him.
Oh no. Whoops.
The question is, should I let him back in?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
There
otherwise
we
I'm going to forget to use layman's terms again.
I accidentally hit F5.
Christ.
I'm pretty sure that was the quit being an asshole, Sarenth. Auto log out.
So mean.
So 4 ounces of tequila, 2 ounces of lime juice, 1.5 ounces of simple syrup, and 1.5 ounces of lemon juice. And then fill the rest of the glass with club soda or tonic. I happen to have tonic. Serve over ice, and it's really, really freaking tasty. Tom Collins and John Collins, which John Collins is a Tom Collins with whiskey because it's a relatively simple cocktail. My brain just died. Whoops.
You talking about the difference between a Tom and a John Collins?
And a wine.
Thank you. Tom Collins is one of my favorite summertime drinks. I like John Collins and now Juan Collins in the fall because they're a little darker, a little heavier.
So you like have a Collins brother for each season?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wonder if a Jack Collins would taste good in winter.
Definitely would. This is really good. It's kind of like a margarita, just a little sweeter and with carbonation. And a little easier to drink because there's not quite as concentrated of liquor. There's more liquor in this than there was in the other one because it's 4 ounces versus 2, but this is a much larger glass.
I'm also laughing at Gemma's comment.
Yeah, if you make it with gin, is it a Joan Collins?
No, that's the
Nice.
Tom Collins.
Yeah, it's the Tom Collins. It really should probably be a Joan Collins, though.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. This being my first time having a Juan Collins, I would say that's a solid... I'd say it's a solid 4 out of 5. I think that's honestly my favorite drink so far of the night. And that's kind of saying something because I've really, really enjoyed everything I've put in my mouth tonight. So...
Good to know.
I don't know what happened before the episode. Anyway, go ahead. Sarenth, you're up. Now we're in the wrong place, too. Hold on a second. This is driving me bananas.
We're still in the wrong place. Here we go.
I can't move them all at once. I have to move them one at a time.
Keep shuffling, car.
Shuffle it. Go ahead, Sarenth.
Go ahead with what? I only had 3.
Oh, so you're done?
I can go grab another drink if you want.
Oh.
Going to Phil Collins.
The air tonight.
Yeah.
Hold on.
More cowbell? All right, so I'll go next. So this is Don Julio Tequila. It's a very pretty bottle.
It is.
375 mil, $50 for 375 mil.
Damn.
So that would be $100 a fifth. Luckily, I have great friends.
Are they in low places?
Yeah, all of them, including the 2 on the other side of this recording. Wow.
You can blame it all on my roots.
Jeez. Thought I was the one known for dad jokes. Anyway. It's actually on my damn business cards. That's what happens when you let your kid make your business cards.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thank you, Ode.
Man, that just looks pretty.
It's very vanilla forward, too.
Look how amber that is.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
And it's like I don't know if you can tell by the way it's moving in the glass, but it's way thicker than the others.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
More viscous. So there's no pepper taste in this one at all.
Okay.
Interesting. You can still tell it's 40%.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. None of these tell you as much information as yours did, Sarenth. Your terrible one that gave you like gluten-free and all that stuff on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I know this was barrel-aged, but I don't know how long or anything like that. But it's super smooth. It's very, very good. Hold on. Malcor asked, do they help you get by with a little help of my friends? They do, indeed. Beatles reference on the YouTube thing. Whatever
The
that
vlog?
is. I do a vlog, okay? Is that where I don't know. I always say podcast, and we're not really podcasting.
I say podcast because I
Podcast, okay.
podcast. Okay.
Sure, we'll use that. Whatever. That is fucking delicious. I'm going to give this a 5.
Wow. High praise
I'm
indeed.
sure I could just sit down and drink this entire 375 tonight. I'm not
Please
going to because Gwen would kill me.
Liver toxicity is a thing.
Yeah.
But that's so smooth. You just have there's nothing to tell you that it's supposed to taste like shit. It just tastes really good. So, wow. And I want to say probably God's wise. I'm going to go with Angus Og. Because I love it. And Angus Og is the god of love and the Celtic pantheon. So it's really, really, really good. Gemma, you'd also probably wake up on the lawn.
You're assuming he's going to anyway.
That has happened to me once. A very long time ago.
That's impressive.
When I lived out in California, I woke up sitting in a lawn chair on my porch covered in snow.
In California?
Yeah, well, mountains.
Oh,
So, out the I-10 in the mountains of California, it does snow. They actually have ski places out there. But yeah, so I drove to my house, which was in Yucaipa, and after doing a birthday party with a bunch of musicians, my birthday, them doing karaoke to make me happy, I guess. And I drank an entire 5th of Grand Marnier.
Jesus.
And woke up, sleeping in a lawn chair covered in snow. I guess I couldn't figure out how to make the key work in the door. I did not drive at all that night. I was being chauffeured around. But apparently they didn't make sure I got in.
Yeah.
They just dropped me off and left. So.
Good friends.
Yeah, well, karaoke was the parts I remember of it were great.
So it turns out that there is a thing where you mix tequila and Coke. So I'm going to try that just because I've got the Coke available. And I'm going to do it with the Terramana. So I guess I do have a drink.
Go for it.
Finn.
Well, I'm fucking late. Well, yeah, fuck you, Finn. For me,
I have to say it. That was great. Sorry, go ahead, Sarenth.
That's all good. I'm just gonna say here, enjoy this. Woo.
Enjoy this.
Yish.
good stuff, huh?
Oh, it's actually really good. So you know how I gave this a 3? This bumps it up to at least a 3.5.
Oh, that's good.
Now, keep in mind, my cola is not Coke; it's Zevia, so its taste is way different, and it's going to interact with your drink a lot differently than a sugary Coke. That being said, it actually mellows out a lot of that fire, and it's just straight. And I associate this with Sinmora. She's
I'm not
that.
familiar.
So she is looked at in academia as either the female half or the wife of Surt.
Okay.
And so naturally she's a goddess of Muspelheim and a very powerful, very impressive lady that I have worshipped for a long time, almost as long as Surt. And this is actually a really, really good drink. And while she is as fiery as her husband, her mood is a lot nicer. He can be incredibly cranky. And I think that this drink definitely reflects that. He's sometimes referred to as Surt the Black, and not just because he can be soot-colored, but also because of his mood. Sinmora is definitely I wouldn't say gentler presence, but perhaps more mediated. And this drink mixer definitely is like that. Because, this is good stuff.
Very nice.
Okay, so I got a couple of things. Emily asked, can the goddess alcohol be remedied with anything?
Oh, that's godless. Oof. I don't know.
Oh, godless.
Let's do
Oh.
it.
Oh, my thing? No, fuck no. No, there's no Coke powerful enough in the world to overcome what the hell that stuff tastes like.
Just drink paint thinner.
I would, well, maybe cocaine. But other than that,
Jesus.
in the world.
We here at Three Pagans on Tap do not condone the use of Schedule 1 narcotics.
One, that.
At least as far as cocaine goes, weed is another story, and the government can fuck off on that. But anyway.
Anyway. 2, I don't think Jesus has anything to do with this podcast whatsoever.
I mean,
sorry,
he's on the bottle of my illegal.
That's 40-something years of ingrained stuff.
No, I know.
So Melkor asks, get out the better versus worse list, which I'm not sure why.
Does Coke make it better or worse?
Oh, gotcha.
Because we've had that a couple of times.
Oh, yeah.
Finn, last time I drank tequila, I ran down my parents' driveway in 3 feet of snow.
Naked.
Yes, which...
That's a very important addendum there.
Yes, that is true. Emily. Sinmora has been on my mind of late. So maybe some tequila for you, Emily.
Nope.
Tequila and Zevia.
A little bit for you, a little bit for her.
Yep.
Gemma, there is a god of tequila, the Aztec goddess Mayahul.
Who I knew existed and I believe has heavy fertility associations. But beyond that, I know literally nothing because I know basically nothing about the Aztec pantheon.
Right. And not something I worship personally, or I believe either of you all. So that would be, I think in this case, disingenuous for us to have said that this tastes like this goddess because it's tequila, but it's good to know.
Yep.
Robert Lowry says 128 proof moonshine makes you see the gods. So,
I mean, you're not
blind.
Right. Yeah.
I can't see shit now. I can see everything.
Carly wants to know if any of us was doing a tequila shot with a lime wedge and a bit of salt in their hands. No, because I hate limes and salt.
No, because I had neither on hand, literally.
I don't have a wedge of lime, but I do have salt and lime juice. I mean, No, I'm not doing that.
You put it on the back of your hand. I mean, how does that work? You got
Yeah, that's actually what you're supposed to do.
Melkor.
Yeah, that kind of does describe Sinmora. She is a very powerful, take no shit goddess.
Let's see. Carly. Saw a guy torching snow in his driveway naked once. Don't think he was drinking, though. It's Minnesota, so.
I mean,
I think that's just meth, but I'm kidding. I don't actually know. But anyway, yeah.
Oh, let's see here. Emily says she's not drinking tequila tonight, peppermint tea.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Emily works night shift, so that makes a lot of sense.
yep. You do you.
And the other Emily says, goes Malek special mead, and it should taste better.
So, fun fact, I got my haunted honey, and I have plans.
As do I, because my haunted honey in as well. So next Halloween, Hell's Mead.
That'd be good.
Yep. So
yeah,
just gonna wait a while.
Yeah, I've got actually way too many plans for meads that will give you experiences and
And none of them involving illicit substances, which is amazing in and of itself.
Right.
Yeah, actually.
Yes. Plans.
That exactly. Like, I think Mother Multiverse would at one point mentioned the experiences she had drinking some of my mead, and
Yep.
yeah.
Sounds like something that needs to happen.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
So I just decided this last week to make maple wine.
Ooh, yes.
So it turns out I had 100 gallons of maple syrup left over last time I made maple mead.
Holy
So
shit.
I was like, all right, well, we'll make maple wine. So I'm making 4 different batches. A maple pecan, a maple bacon, a maple elderberry peanut, so it tastes like a PB&J. And I'm not sure what I'm doing with the 4th one, so somebody needs to send me good ideas. Oh,
Sorry, list those again real quick.
what now?
List those again that you've already made.
I am in the process of making
Sorry.
maple pecan,
Okay.
maple bacon,
Okay.
maple elderberry with peanuts,
Okay.
and an unknown because I don't have a good one yet.
Maple cinnamon.
Okay, there we go. I can do that. I have cinnamon. Melkor says, speaking of recipes for plans, how is the Patreon coming along?
I mean, it launched like
3 minutes after we talked about it?
Nice.
Yeah, pretty much like 3 minutes after the end of the episode, it just decided, hey, we're good. I was like, 24 hours. What happened to that? I guess we're just launching now. Neat, thanks.
Sweet.
For the win.
So if you folks like this content and you want to see us keep producing it, please support us on Patreon.
That'd be nice.
Let me tell you, 4 bottles of tequila, not super cheap.
Yeah.
Even the stuff that I got was like not super cheap, folks.
Yeah.
And I like to think that we offer pretty solid stuff with ours. Like, I don't know. I like to think so. I'm the one who came up with the tiers. Like, whatever.
The good news is I basically take this all home and then Gwen and Ode and Jackson drink it all. So the tastes I get during the episode are the tastes I get.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Melkor said, can you all link it? I've searched it and it doesn't come up.
Yes.
So, yep.
I assume Carr is going to take care of that because he is the master of the show.
I am grabbing it as we speak.
Thanks, Carr.
That's what I'm here for. Except that I typed it in and it came up with my other podcast. Hold on.
Yeah, same.
Hey, so everybody support my other podcast. The asshole move right there. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll find it.
Yeah. So Carly Hodges said, I want a how-to for experiences. Two things I want to say to that. One, I will say, like Sarenth and I think both, I think it's fair to say this, Sarenth, both have a fairly active God phone, which is to say, like, we receive spiritual experience and, like, connection, UPG, basically, relatively easily. Not everyone does, and that doesn't make you better or worse. My religious experience is not any more valid than someone who has never had a moment of hierophany. Like, flat out, I am not a better pagan than someone who has never had a full religious experience.
I would not. I would correct your language.
Okay.
And here's why: you can have a full religious experience without having any direct interaction from the gods.
Okay, fair. Thank you. That's completely legit.
I think that you can have peak experiences, and you don't even have to really understand that you've had one. Mm-hmm. I think that people have more interaction with the gods than what they give themselves credit for, even though for a lot of folks it seems one-sided. I think to a certain degree, some folks have their pump primed a little more towards direct experience, whereas other folks have to go through different mediums in order to get a response that they understand or works for their brain or wiring, because not everybody works with visual information, for instance. So going through divination is a really good way of knowing that the gods not only listen, but they're responding.
Yeah.
And I would say that most people experience the gods more through divination than they do through direct experience. And that is just as valid as direct experience, clairaudience, clairsentience, da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was number one, which is like seeking that one. It doesn't make you better. Not everyone has it. Not everyone has it nearly as frequently as I might. And honestly, I don't have it as frequently as some other people I know. Beside the point. Thank you, Car, for sharing that.
I finally found it. There it is.
There we go. As for a how-to, literally what I did is made a ritual of it. And not just a ritual as in like a worship ritual, although that was certainly part of it, but also a ritual as in a working. I put the intention, I put the energy, I put the thought, the will, the magic into the mead that I was making. It was kind of exhausting because I did that for like 2 hours while I was bottling the thing. So honestly, that's kind of the how-to is do it intentionally, do it in sacred space, do it with asking the spirits and deities involved, assuming you involve any, to help you do the thing. Do it.
Pro tip, even if you don't involve them, they're going to be involved.
I mean, yes.
Yep. So there's a kombucha place, Unity Vibrations. It's in Ypsilanti, Michigan. And I've spent quite a bit of time talking to the owner there. And they place singing bowls around their product as it's being made. And they do offer prayers to the product, all kinds of stuff. So it's a very interesting concept. So I try to do that here now.
That's pretty cool.
But, you know, being the only pagan on staff, sometimes it's a little awkward. But
yeah.
Emily said we come for the alcohol, we stay for the shenanigans.
That's legit.
I mean, they kind of go hand in hand, so
it is us.
Yeah.
So Carly says, my path is mostly non-deity focused, but I'm trying to reach out more for them, I would assume. That is all I can say is careful.
I mean, that, but also, like, that's legit. Like, I know people whose practice is entirely focused on gods, and they don't really do anything with spirits and or ancestors. And I'm speaking specifically from a heathen context. And I know people whose practice is entirely focused on ancestors and spirits, and they reach out to deities once or twice a year at most.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, your practice is your practice. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yep. And Carly amended for something, I don't know what. So that helps.
And that is okay to not know. You know, sometimes when you reach out to the gods and you're doing so with an earnest heart, they'll reach back. And sometimes it's not the gods that reach back. Sometimes it's an ancestor. Sometimes it's a spirit. Sometimes it's both.
Right.
And that's really fun because, you know, then you get into this interesting question of, well, where do the gods begin? The ancestors begin. Well, they're intermingled. And it's not in that, you know, it's in a very straightforward way. It's not like I call myself Odinson for an idle reason. Like, this is a belief that I hold and an understanding that I hold with the Allfather.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's nothing wrong with understanding the gods as ancestors. Melkor makes a really good point that I would like to see up on the board. Any space can be sacred. No one needs to know if you're invoking the gods or staring into space. And that's very true. So a very simple way of making a sacred space, at least in the heathen way of doing things, is literally to rope it off.
Mm-hmm.
So if you, say, have access to caution tape, you could make yourself a jerry-rigged sacred space by just marking it off.
Right.
And at least in my experience, a lot of breweries have the brewing area marked off so that random visitors don't just go wandering through it.
Yep, we do as well. Yep.
So, which isn't to say that any marked off area is necessarily sacred, but that's one way to do it, is to say, I am intentionally marking this area off. This is sacred space.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Carly just said, I've been having this crazy experience with a loved one who recently passed and has been contacting me and nudging me towards reaching up. And I can only think it means towards gods or goddesses. I don't think that's necessarily true.
That is a good point. I was going to nail that too. So I don't know about the Celtic religion or the Druid way, but at least for us heathens, we have gods and ancestors, that live in the upper branches of the tree.
Yep.
So it may not necessarily be a god they're pushing you toward. It might be pushing you toward elevated ancestors.
Yep.
Exactly.
Y'all covered that actually pretty thoroughly in a recent episode on around Grandfather Fire.
Oh shit, we did, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah. Was that the one with Phyllis Karat?
No, that was the one before. It was the open episode.
Okay. So that was episode 56 then. Yeah.
And then we have one on ancestor worship as well, but I have no idea what the number is.
I only know it goes just relatively recently, to be fair. Oh, then you have at least, for Carly, knowing nothing about your ancestors and that your dad and mom's adopted, that is cool because you actually have at least 4 main family lines you can tap. 2 blood
Right.
and 2 adopted.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
And also, it's worth mentioning because a lot of people don't realize this. Ancestors don't have to be blood related.
That is very
Right.
true.
The vast majority, just straight up, the vast majority of my recent family line that I know about are dickheads. I don't honor them. Like, I don't.
Yep.
There's one particular ancestor who's approached me and I said, no, you don't get worship at my altar. You don't. Until you fix shit that you messed up, you don't get worship.
Yeah.
He gets to watch. He doesn't get named. But I still do ancestor veneration. I honor the ancestors as a whole, all of those who came before, all of those who made my life as it is today possible. Boundaries, very much.
Yep. Thank you, Scubas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump off this point. Like, if you've got recent ancestors that are assholes and really don't deserve your time of day, that's fine. Go back further. And if your family line's really jacked up and needs some help, go outside your family lines. Go to, it can be, for instance, I'm pansexual. I'm going to look to people who are outside of my blood family relations who are part of the Quilt Bag Plus community as ancestors. So blood relations not needed. If you have a profession, you can talk to them. And this can extend, like I'm security. So maybe I would talk to ancestors that were involved in guard duty. And this could be like wardens of little villages and shit. This doesn't need to be, Uncle Joe who worked at the prison one generation back. It can, depending on your relationship with Uncle Joe. Just to be clear, I don't have an Uncle Joe. But yeah, this ancestors is a really broad topic because it doesn't need to be. I look at it as by blood and bone, adoption, lineage, spiritual calling, and affiliation. Yeah. So ancestors is a really, really broad category for me.
I have many musicians who I consider ancestors because I spent 30 years in the entertainment industry working with musicians. So, that's probably bigger to me than a lot of my familial relations. I would say on my ancestor altar personally, I have one family person.
Wow.
I have many others. So,
and it's also legit to worship to involve ancestral worship to culture groups.
Mm-hmm.
We know that we have family members we don't know the names of who came from England, so we'll offer to the English ancestors. That's legit.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So Carly said family is spiritual. The loved one I mentioned earlier is not blood family, but means more to me than anyone else.
Yep, that.
Melkor said, I have several non-family on my altar along with my family. It depends on your practice, but blood isn't necessary.
Incidentally, this is where the focusts can fuck right off. Sorry, folks, I'm going to take every opportunity I can to tell the focusts to go fuck themselves.
You shouldn't apologize.
Sorry, not sorry. I think that anybody and everybody can come to heathenry, and that anybody and everybody can engage in ancestor cultus. So, hey, you don't want to talk to your blood family? Not a freaking problem. There are plenty of ancestors that have nothing to do with your blood family and the abusive assholes. And I guarantee you, if you go far back enough, you're going to find ancestors that are cool.
Yep. And Scuba said, I remember hearing someone use the phrase, anyone who made your life possible, as their definition of ancestor.
That.
Yep. And that doesn't have to be possible in the physical sense, but in any sense. So, all right, well, we're at about an hour 15 here, guys. So why don't we wrap this episode up, and we will meet everybody over on Discord.
Sounds great.
Yeah, that sounds good.
If you want more information, in particular about ancestor worship, because that's what we're talking about right now, head over to the Discord and hit us up there. So thank you all very much. This has been Three Pagans on Tap. That's Sarenth Odinson over there. That's Malek Odinson over there. And I'm Karan Nadagda. And we will see you all in two Tuesdays from now.
Indeed.
Two Tuesdays from now.
There you go.
Hey, bye.
Have a good night.
Bye. All right.